Hello friends, this is Durga again from IT University. As part of Cloudera Certified Associate Spark and Hadoop Developer, so far I have covered importing data from a MySQL database into HDFS using Sqoop. Also export data to a MySQL database from HDFS using Sqoop in data ingest. As part of this video and few subsequent videos, we will be talking about the next topic, change the delimiter and file format of data during import using Sqoop. I will try to cover the change the delimiter as part of this video, and then as part of the next video I will talk about file formats. So now if you go back to Sqoop user guide, and if you go to the top, you can see the Sqoop import syntax by clicking on Sqoop import in the index and going to syntax, and here you can see common arguments which we have discussed most of them, and then import control arguments. We have discussed about boundary query, columns, num mappers, query, split by, table, target dir, almost everything except the null string and not null string. We have seen everything. So as part of this video I will talk about null string and null non-string as well. So and also we will talk about few important parameters like enclosed by, escaped by, fields terminated by, lines terminated by, etc. I might not cover everything, but I will try to demonstrate the fields terminated by, lines terminated by, along with null string and null non-string. And if you look at the curriculum, they are talking about change the delimiter, and when it comes to change the delimiter, these two are the important parameters. Enclosed by, escaped by are not that important, but these two things are very important when it comes to delimiters. MySQL delimiters probably it might be important or it might not be important, but these two are the most important because these two are not only applicable to MySQL but almost every database it behaves the similar manner. Now let us go to the Cloudera VM and see what is going on. I'm coming out of the Hive context, and before demonstrating those input fields terminated by and lines terminated by, let me show the way data is stored in HDFS as part of the previous import commands. In the beginning of this series, using import all tables, we have imported all the tables in the MySQL database retail_db under this path, user Cloudera Sqoop _import, and you can see one directory for each of the table. So departments, customers, categories, orders, items, and products are the tables which are imported at the beginning. Now if you do Hadoop fs minus cat on the files under this directory which is for departments, you will see the actual data, and you can see that data is delimited by comma. We have two fields in the table, one is department ID and department name, and both of them are delimited by comma. And if you go into more complex data sets like the company names, addresses, etc., the data itself will have commas, and in those cases if you just import directly into the HDFS without transforming the data, then it can cause some data quality issues. For that reason, you should have the understanding of all these parameters: enclosed by, escaped by, fields terminated by, lines terminated by, etc. Enclosed by is the parameter where you can specify if the fields have to be enclosed with a specific character. So for example, if on top of Hadoop FS. So if we add enclosed by to the Sqoop import command, it will look like this. So let me go to my GitHub account, code, Hadoop, EDW, Cloudera, Sqoop, sqoopdemo.txt, and I will try to use simple import command rather than import all tables. All these are same. Copy, paste, and let me give the target directory as paste Sqoop import departments enclosed by, and then enclosed by, this is the character which I want to use to enclose each of the string. Okay, I think I have to give the escape. I have to escape it. Because double quote is a special character, we have to escape it. Now the import is running. Once the import is done, we will cat on that directory and see what is going on. So now the import is done, and Hadoop fs minus cat user Cloudera Sqoop import departments enclosed by part star. You can see that data is enclosed in the double quotes. So that is the significance of enclosed by. And then if you want to change the delimiter itself from comma to some other character, before getting into that, let's theoretically discuss about escaped by. As we have seen, there will be some special characters and you might have to escape while doing the import. In that case, you can specify what is the escaped by character, and if the data have that character, it will use that character to be escape and mitigate the impact of special characters within the data itself. And then the most important two parameters when it comes to changing the delimiters are fields terminated by and lines terminated by. We have seen that so far data is copied using comma as delimiter, and now we will run the same command. Let me delete the data. Hadoop fs minus rm minus capital R. I am deleting this directory. Copy, paste, and hit enter. And then Sqoop import. I am leaving enclosed by like that only. And then fields terminated by, I want to terminate it by let's say pipe, and then lines terminated by let's say column. By default, it's new line character as we have seen in the dataset. Here each record is delimited by new line character, and here I'm trying to change it to column and hit enter. Again, it could be special characters. Okay, now the import command is running. Once it is done, we will validate. So now the import is done, and let's see how the data looks like. You can see that each field is delimited by pipe within the record, and then each record is delimited by column. So this is how you can actually change the delimiters of new line character and also change the delimiters of record and also the fields by simply using these two parameters, fields terminated by and lines terminated by. And if you specify MySQL delimiters, I think it is default. It will use comma for fields, new line characters for lines, escaped by with slash, and optionally enclosed by with colon. I'm not sure what this optionally enclosed by. You can play with it and you can understand what this optionally enclosed by is. So this is how it works. The delimiters works. Now this is not good enough. We have to understand how the delimiters work when it comes to importing into Hive. We have demonstrated how it works while importing into plain HDFS location. Now let us try to do the Hive import on this table. Okay, again for that I am going to the demo my GitHub code. I am using create Hive table command here, and here let me remove this fields terminated by and lines terminated by, and we will see how the data will be copied into Hive. It will not be using comma in that case. Okay, I am copying into a table called departments underscore test. So I can copy everything from here. So from this command, except for fields terminated by and lines terminated by, everything else is same. It will just take a moment to copy into the Hive table and also to create the Hive table. Once it is done, we will review that. So now it is done, and I am getting into Hive here, and also I will type show tables command to list the tables. So this is the table which is created. You can validate by running select star from departments underscore test. All the data is copied, and then you can run the command called describe formatted departments underscore test and hit enter. You can see that field delimiter is not comma, instead it's a null character, ASCII null character, and line delimiter is same, which is new line character. It is same as Sqoop as well as Hive, but the field delimiter is different. And now if you go to this location and cat the data under this location, copy, and then Hadoop fs minus cat paste slash part star, you will see how the data is stored. It is stored with the new line character, which is garbled here because the data is delimited by a not new line character, null character, which is not readable using standard out or the terminal. So for that reason the data looks to be garbled, but the actual delimiter is the null character. So you need to understand this. The reason is a Sqoop import, you don't need to, even though you don't worry when it comes to Sqoop import, if you want to export from Hive into Hive table into MySQL database using Sqoop, unless you have the knowledge about the changes in the delimiters between Sqoop and Hive, you will run into issues. For that reason, you have to be extremely careful when it comes to running Sqoop into Hive or running Sqoop from Hive. For example, let me drop this table in Hive, drop table, departments underscore test. Okay, and let me create this table, create table departments underscore test with the department ID as integer and department name as string. Now the table is created. it should be int only. And then if you do describe formatted departments underscore test, you can see that it is not showing up the delimiters here because it is using the default delimiters internally. So now if you try to run, so this is the HDFS location, so you will be able to run Sqoop import into this location. So let me run the Sqoop import into that location. Sqoop import. I am using plain Sqoop import without using Hive import. So Hive table is nothing but a directory in HDFS. So hence you can run Sqoop import as you are trying to do into HDFS itself. Only difference is you have to say target directory as user Hive. Sorry. Hive warehouse, and the table name is departments underscore test, and let me remove enclosed by, fields terminated by, lines terminated by, etc. So now Hive table is created with the delimiters of null character for the fields and the new line for the record. And we are actually using Sqoop import target directory as a HDFS directory, which uses comma as a delimiter for field and new line character for the line. As we are using the existing table which means that directory already exists, we need to use append hint here. So once you use append hint, it can write into the existing directory. So now the import is running. Once the import complete, let us run the select query on this table and see whether it will retrieve the data appropriately or not. So now the data is copied. Let us launch Hive and run search star from departments and hit enter. Sorry, not departments, it's departments underscore test. That is the table which we used to import. And if you see, the result is all nulls. The reason is when we create the table without delimiter specifying while as part of create table in Hive, it takes null character describe formatted departments underscore test. If you see, the delimiter is the null character which is default and it is not showing up here. When we try to import using Sqoop, it takes comma as default, and we didn't specify Hive import at the time of doing the import, so it takes the defaults of Sqoop, which is comma is the delimiter for fields, and as the table structure in Hive is different from the data format stored using Sqoop, it is showing all null characters. So the point is, you should be very careful about how all the tools like Sqoop, Pig, Hive can work together. You need to understand the defaults thoroughly, and based upon that, you have to develop the interfaces between each of these tools. So bottom line is, if you try to create a Hive table and do the Sqoop import, it is better to use the fields terminated by and the lines terminated by depending upon your delimiters on the table itself. In this case, it's the null character, so you should import data into this table using the null characters, or using the for fields, or using the Hive import itself. Hive import will take care of using the Hive defaults rather than Sqoop defaults while loading the data. So that is about Sqoop import. And one final thing, as part of the Sqoop import, using manipulating the data while doing the import, apart from the delimiters, is the null and not null strings. So for that, let me create new data. I'm logging into MySQL database, -u retail underscore DBA -p, password is Cloudera, and here use retail underscore DB show tables. So select star from departments underscore test and hit enter. Okay, I have been testing on this, that's why it might be showing incorrect results. Let me do this. Delete from departments test where department name is null and hit enter. It is deleted. I think it has some special characters. Okay. Where department ID in 8,9 and department name not equal to testing. Hit enter. Yeah, so now the data is deleted and all the invalid records. You have 9 records in the MySQL table and also 9 records in Hive table. I will drop this table and reload the data again. So drop table departments test, and I'm reloading the data using Hive import. Test and hit enter. So I have specified number of mappers as 1 because it compliant, and now the import is running. So now the data is inserted again, and if you run Hive query, select star from departments underscore test, you can see the 9 records exactly as in MySQL database. Now I will try to show you about the null based parameters. They are also very important and there can be questions in the certification, so I am covering that. So these things, null string and null non-string. So null string is to tell how the nulls in the character data type fields should be represented, and null non-string is how the non-string nulls should be represented. For example, in this case in MySQL we have this departments underscore test table. I am running this query, insert into departments underscore test values null comma null and hit enter. Okay, there is a not null constraint on this table. So what I will do is I will drop this table, drop table departments underscore test, create table departments underscore test, department underscore id integer, department underscore name varchar 30, insert into departments underscore test, select star from departments and hit enter. So there are 9 records now. Select star from departments underscore test, and now we will run the insert command. So now you have 10 records, and one of them have null values for both department ID and department name. Now if you run the Sqoop import, and now if you say null string, so it will tell you how the nulls of string fields should be represented. So here I am pasting it, null string. Let's say it should be represented as NVL, and then null non-string, it should be represented as, let's say, -1. Okay, and hit enter. Now the import will run. Data is already there, so there will be some duplicates in this, but the record which have nulls is new, so you will see that record with -1 for department ID and NVL for null. So it says table already exists, so we cannot actually use create hive table. We just need to remove this and hit enter. Okay, it failed because the previous import failed and it left this directory without deleting. So we have to delete this directory, Hadoop fs -rm -r paste and hit enter. Now we can run it again. Now the data is copied and I am running hive query, select star from departments underscore test and hit enter, and you can see that the new record which is having department ID as null and department name as null in MySQL database is imported as -1 and NVL. So this is how the nulls are represented as part of this table departments underscore test. So in Hive the nulls are represented in different manner, but in Sqoop you can tell how the nulls should be represented within the data. Don't forget about Hive for now, but yeah, this is how the data will be stored when you try to use Sqoop to import the data in, whether it is Hive or non-Hive HDFS directory, and the impact will be the same. So this is it about the manipulations which we can do with the data while doing the import. In the next video I will focus on export also. As part of this video we have covered null string, null non-string, and also we have covered enclosed by, fields terminated by, lines terminated by, etc. Very important, and there might be some practical questions in the certification given the syllabus of the certification. So understand all the parameters as much as you can, especially for import and export, and also to manipulate the data and conquer the exam. That being said, I hope you are enjoying the content on my channel and this playlist. If you like this video, please click on the like button. If you want to provide the feedback, please use the comment section. If you have any questions, either you can use comment section or you can ask in Stack Overflow, tagging the question under Sqoop. I will be following that closely, and also we can have discussions in my LinkedIn group, which is called as Hadoop Certifications. And if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. You will get to see a lot more content like this over time. Thank you. Bye.